I told you before that it's not a very meaty scripture. I'm sure as you're listening to Carrie read that, you're going, okay, how many points are we going to make out of this? It's more like a travel log than anything else, but don't worry. With enough commentaries and Chat GPT, you can do almost anything. So with that, you've seen this before, there's the travel. Paul had more frequent flyer miles than I did. Yeah. So what do we know about our cast? Well, what we know is that Priscilla and Aquila came from Rome. Why'd they come from Rome? They came from Rome because they were basically tossed out of Rome. The Romans didn't want the Jews and Christians there. So they basically had to flee Rome. We know that the tent makers, what's interesting there is that who else was a tent maker? Paul. And Paul stayed with them for a year and a half. A lot of the people think that Paul worked part-time for that year and a half, and that's how he made enough money to help support the ministry while he preached. So tent makers unite. Wife and husband team. This is interesting. Generally, they refer to Priscilla and Aquila in that order. That is highly unusual for this period of time. Normally, you would have always had the husband first. Probably denotes the fact that Priscilla was the leader, and Priscilla was kind of the maker of that ministry, so to speak. And a lot of the commentaries give a lot of credit for that. We know that they traveled with Paul to Syria and Ephesus, and we know that they discipled Apollos. So far, we're following. What do we know about Apollos? A Jew. He's a native of Alexandria. Quote, he's a learned man with thorough knowledge of the scriptures. I'm going to go back and talk about this. He knew only the baptism of John. What does that mean? Well, it's interesting. He knew, and it says he preached about Jesus correctly, but he only knew about the baptism from John. A lot of the scholars think that what that really refers to is the fact that he didn't really understand the crucifixion. He didn't really understand how the Old Testament necessarily tied in with everything. And I mean, he had a pretty good understanding of the basics, but probably not enough of an understanding to really be as effective an evangelist as he could be if he understood everything up through Paul's experiences with that. So they spent time discipling them. He went on fiercely to debate the Jews and defend the Christians. And I believe he was martyred in the end, if I remember correctly. What do you know about Paul and Luke? First of all, Paul shaved his head. Okay, why did Luke include that in there? I mean, what does that have to do with anything? We're going along, Paul's going all these different places, we learn about Apollos, Priscilla and Aquila, and then, we get this random Paul shaved his head for a vow. We don't hear what the vow was, although we had some interesting discussion this morning. Some people tell me that it was a Nazarene vow, but what do you do with that? How do you preach on that? Okay, well, we're going to shave our heads for a vow? I don't think so, Mr. Jones. Paul's travels. As I said, frequent flyer miles, I guess frequent walker miles in this day and age. But wow, I mean, Carrie read off all those places. He covered a lot of ground. What did Paul do while he was there? Well, he was strengthening the disciples. He existed to develop disciples. That's what he did. He encouraged the churches, developed disciples. All along the way, all the way even to the end of the time in Rome, he was encouraging. I did a podcast on Friday, and if anybody listened to it, and don't raise your hand if you didn't, but he ends the letter to the Colossians speaking about naming all the different people, encouraging them. This is a guy that's in prison, probably not having a very good time of it. And he's not worried about himself. He's trying to still encourage the people to be evangelists and disciples. That's what Paul did. How about our own example of going forth? Do I click on it? Click on it or not? Okay. This is so I don't have to preach. See, I told you we had more pictures than you did. Yeah. Trust me, he's alive. Sandy says he's alive. That's all she needs to know. We know he's alive because they're using the church credit card. And we get notifications every time my phone goes ding with it. So they're alive. Okay, applications for us. Okay, I actually do have to, do a little bit of preaching. So what's the application? Keep moving. Just like Paul and his team, there's always a mission field somewhere. There's, just staying in our seat, in our lounge chair, in our beautiful house isn't going to make much of a difference. That's kind of cool, but you can keep moving in Gig Harbor, you can keep moving in Washington, Peru, wherever. The mission field is everywhere. We just need to be out there in it. Share what we know. Priscilla, Aquila, great examples to Apollos. Disciple. Be ready to share what you know. We can always learn more. Apollos was a learned man. I'm amazed. I will share that doing the podcasts, how much more you can learn. Anybody that's preached or done podcasts knows that when you start challenging yourself and you start looking into it and getting into the depth of what it means, you learn a whole lot more. And sometimes you go, wait a minute, I've been reading this for 70 years, well, not 70 years, but close to it. And you go, wow, I didn't know that. And you can always learn more. It's a good reason to be into the Bible. It's a good reason to be in small groups where people can share. It's a good reason to do podcasts or listening to podcasts. I mean, we can always learn more. So, who is One Hope Church? Mongolia? Yeah, there's a few people there. I think they're having more fun than anything else, and I'm jealous of them with that. I have no idea what they were doing with that stick, but we'll hear when they get back, I'm sure. Biblical authority, teaching, fellowship, devotional life and prayer, and a Christ-centered worship, breaking of the bread. Acts of the Apostles. We've covered off on the congregational profile. I think it says the same thing. It's really fairly granular with regards to that. I think this is all you need to know. If somebody asks me who One Hope Church is, I'd say, that's who we are. The evidence is found in everything else. I asked Peter for 2 minutes of video. He gave me 3.4, which is typical with that. But that's just a little sliver of who we are. We could do that with so many different things all the time with that. So I would just leave you with those thoughts. Keep moving. Keep learning. Keep discipling. And I would say that I really think that we've got a special place here at One Hope Church. As the call team looks to what's ahead, we have a special place, and the Lord will put the right person in it at the right time. So with that, I just want to transition us. Christ-centered worship, breaking of the bread.